is Rusty with Conquering Mountain Podcast. Thank you for stopping in. I want to share with you just this little thing that we've been doing for the last few weeks. It's called Created to Be Fruitful. The story that we've been talking about is about a man who owned a vineyard and he planted a fig tree in that vineyard. Now that fig tree had not produced fruit for the last 3 years, but most fig trees don't produce fruit for a while. In going about, he came to the vine dresser and had said, hey, look, this fig tree is not producing fruit. So why don't we just cut it down, because all it's doing is wasting ground. It's using up all the resources that are in the ground. The vine dresser said, let's wait 1 more year. Let's dig around it and put some manure on it. And then in a year, if it doesn't produce fruit, then we'll cut it down. Now, when I was thinking about the story, it was significant to me that when the vine dresser talked about putting manure around the fig tree, I thought it was significant because now it made me understand, in order to produce fruit, everything has to have some crap put on it. Now, that's no different for you and me. We're experiencing crap all the time, and without understanding why that we all have crap, then it just seems purposeless, that it has no meaning. But within the story, what I began to understand, that in order for me to be fruitful, I'm gonna have to go through some things. And I was really it challenged me to think differently about my circumstances. So I now have changed and flipped the script and begin to, whenever I am suffering or in pain, I'm looking for the good that comes out of it. It's kind of like an oyster that has, when dirt and silt gets inside of it, it's irritating, but the end product is a pearl. It's a lot like that with us, and we have to reframe those things that we are experiencing. So why is this important at all? Well, I know that right now you're probably sitting at home, or you're going to your job and you're like, man, this is just a bunch of crap. I don't understand why I'm going through this. It's for your good. But if you don't see it that way, it's going to seem purposeless. Now, I know that it's not easy to do it that way. But why? So the thing that Romans talks about in chapter 5 is that suffering is for us to get endurance. And endurance brings about character, and character gives us hope. But what does that hope really mean? That hope is that, that it's not for something other than just to bear down on us. So I want you to just take a moment. What is that one thing that right now you're suffering from? That one thing that's creating a pain in your life. So I would like you, write that thing on a piece of paper. And I want you to go and look at what are the potentialities of that being able to change you for the good. What is God trying to do within you? Because it's not just for you. If we sit back and we think that, okay, these sufferings are only for us to change, then we probably have missed some of the point. I remember back in August of 2008, I had sold my business and I'd gone to Atlanta to help plant a church. Now, within a few months of planting this church, I had lost the job that I had gone down there to do. And so I was out of work for the next 18 months. Now, I could have just said, man, I came down here to plant a church. Why is God doing this to me? But I shifted and going, he's got a purpose and I got to find it. So for the next 6 months, I would go to what was called the International House of Prayer, IHOP. And I would spend hours praying and going and asking what he wanted from me, how he wanted me to change. Now, during this time, I'll tell you, I also lost a house. I lost a car. I was on food stamps. My family but they were not in disarray. Matter of fact, my wife and I, we became very close. And it was during those challenges that we drew together and God bonded us like a cord. And those lessons that I learned back in August 2008, they still are producing fruit even in this time. So I'm going to say to you, go to that piece of paper Write down that challenge. Don't look for an ending date, but look for what you can gather from that time. Because again, it's about endurance and character and about hope. And I promise you that within Jesus, there is hope. And he suffered as much as any person could possibly suffer. He suffered emotional, spiritual, and physical pain. And the purpose was for us so that he could identify as the God of the universe, identify with our challenges and our problems. So don't think that you're alone in this. Not only is he with you, hey, I want you to reach out to us. The greatest way that we can do that is on Facebook. If you'll just direct message us, because we're looking forward to hearing from you and how we can step up and be compassionate and understanding, empathetic to your situation, because you're not alone. I promise you, you are not alone. We're here. We're dealing in a time that people are the suicide rates are out the roof. Domestic violence is out the roof. And we're here to help you to get through any challenge that you may be facing. Because that's what this Conquering Mountains is about. It's about us doing it together. We're here at base camp together. We're going to walk together. We promise that we'll come together with you and help you get through that. We really want to hear from you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Think on these things. Change your mindset. Reframe the problem and look at it as just a challenge to overcome, and you're getting ready to get to that place of endurance with great character. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Like us on Facebook. Like us on YouTube. And please share this with everybody. Hopefully we can touch the world with just a little bit of hope. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Be good.